Welcome to another episode of Hymer Times. I'm Camelia from Auckland, and Richard and my dogs have met Amanda and Russell in Manganese Point, and we're finally reunited after 2-3 years thanks to the pandemic.
Thanks Camelia and Richard, it's great getting back with you as well. We've been travelling in our Hymer Camper now since January, the start of this year. We found an early retirement agrees with us. Really enjoyed travelling without the timetable to get back to work. After travelling up the South Island from our home in Dunedin, we made a beeline for Northland to enjoy the beaches and scenery. After spending a couple of months in Northland, just slowly working our way around, finally got to Auckland last episode, where we left you. Each time we've moved, it has been no more than about 50 kilometres. We've stayed for 3 or 4 nights in each place. This episode we're heading over to Coromandel. After a lot of wet weather and closed roads, they could do with some visitors. So we've been staying at Pukekura the last couple of nights at a pop, which is just out of Pukekura about 2k. They've got about 5 or 6 campers in here tonight. There's a wee garden area they've set up just for in their section where the campers stay. This is all going on a lizard thing, and I saw a little lizard running across here before, so it's obviously lizards. There's a water wheel, windmill. Our host lit up this fire last night and everybody came out of their campers and we had a good old chat for a couple of hours, which was very pleasant. We've had a couple of quick trips into town while we've been here, but we're off now to the Firth of Thames. So this is Kaiaka, which is a freedom camping spot right beside the water. It's always nice to wake up beside the sea, although the tide's out at the moment. So we're going to take the bikes and show you around. Motorhome Park is just across the bridge beside the pub, and they've got a track that goes through to the beach. Haven't actually stayed in this one, but it's one of the newer ones that have been just opened up. Everyone will tell you you've got to go to the fish and chip shop when you're here. And normally we'd be watching the chase and having a drink and chippies in the camper, but I think Amanda has the buck. What's happening?
We bite then.
Oh, bite!
There's another bite.
Oh. Next morning we had breakfast beside the water.
Cleary, I might need to go and get the sun hat.
At the end of the camping area they have this giant sculpture of an oyster catcher. It's a great spot for just sitting back and watching the bird life. Oh, not going far this time. Cheers, mate. Give everything a shake. Playground. Pizza shop. Here's the pub and the fish and chip shop. So $10.50 for a piece of fish.
$4 for a scoop of chips.
And it's $4 for a scoop of chips.
So that might account for the price. You can see as we're driving along here, it's pretty tidal. It's apparently 3.6 metres.
Here we are at Ray's Rest, they call it, just up from Miranda, where the bird sanctuary is. It's so good being able to fish straight from the door of the camper. Most of the beach is made up of crushed shells. While I was enthusiastic to fish, the the fish weren't so enthusiastic to take my bait. Still got my shrimp on.
Designated overnight camping. 2 nights maximum. Self-contained vehicles only. Dogs prohibited and all rubbish to be removed.
So we're leaving Ray's Rest and we're going down to Thames to get some shopping done, restock, and then popping up to Coromandel for the long weekend. It's Anzac weekend, so we're going to Coromandel to meet up with some camping buddies that we met up with when we were here a couple of times a few years ago.
Down here to Miranda, is it?
We're going left to Miranda.
Pockets of development kind of everywhere, smallish bits, but you know, you just look over on a hillside or somewhere, you can see new housing, so there's definitely a lot going in.
Okay, they just stopped here at a wildlife bird area. Beside us are a whole lot of swans, so I'll see if I can get my camera out and get a couple of shots for you.
So we've just left Ray's Rest and come down 2 k's down the road to check out the Miranda Hot Springs, which we thought were closed, and the gate lock confirms that. There's a nice camping ground beside and natural mineral pools that I think we've never been, so we'd like to come sometime.
So turn left here to go to Thames. So I've just pulled up to have a look at a place on the side of the road selling flounder fillets.
So how does it work?
So we've got packs of 2.
Yep, that's probably what we...
What you're after? They're beautiful, quite big fish actually today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Just weigh them all.
Yeah, I do. Everything's fine.
Going to be eaten tonight.
Yes, he likes them.
So we've got our flounder from Poco Pete. And that was $19 for these 2, but they're quite a good size. They're big flounders.
They're a big smokehouse.
They will be a real treat for dinner tonight.
State Highway 25A is closed and State Highway 25 is open to light vehicles. We're now just turning the corner and going to cross the Kopu Bridge. This used to be a one-way bridge for many years, and about probably 10 years ago now it was turned into a 2-way. Used to bank up all the way for people coming from Auckland into the Coromandel. Coming up to the main bit of Thames last time.
So shopping day again at Thames, and we're parked up in the car park. This is one of the few supermarket car parks that actually have camper parks, which is really good. And we're going to fit all of this into here somewhere. So the secret we find is to take everything out of the packaging that you can and have containers to put it in, and also split the meat up into small packs that you'd use for each night and put them away in the freezer. It all seems to sort of fit without all that cardboard and plastic and rubbish. The end result of the shopping is a tidy bench, although I've got to wipe it down, and some recycling. So I'm going to put this all into a supermarket bag and get rid of it. This is our cafe on wheels, and it's lunchtime. We've stopped off at the wharf. I'm thinking it might be time to do a bit of work on the wharf.
It's got a bad slip.
Yes. The general state of the roads around the Coromandel is pretty bad. This is just an example of one of the many slips that you have to drive through when you're going through the Coromandel area.
It's almost scary driving down, I think.
You can see where the slip's gone right across the road into the sea in multiple places. It's quite a narrow road up to Coromandel, and a lot of the road on the left hand edge dropping off into the sea had slumped.
Okay. I don't think so.
Well, here we are, arrived at NZMCA Coromandel Park.
This is the size they need the Dunedin one to be, sort of, don't they? It's a good size, this one.
Yeah, it is a good size. Just come along about 3k from Coromandel to the Auckland ferry wharf, where you can catch the ferry across to Auckland for a bit of a picnic. And we've got Richard and Cam here who have a camper as well that have followed us around, and we're going to do a bit of fishing from the wharf. The Auckland ferry's actually just at that wee bend there, but there's another private wharf over here. Yeah, so this wharf has got no fishing on it. It's a bit of a pain. So I think we'll just go down over the hill here along the beach. Richard's having about as much luck as me with the fishing. We decided that we'd move on to the wharf once the fishing boats had left and the evening progressed. After the fishing, we headed back to the camper. This is Cassie and Molly, their dogs, who are very cute. Anyways, the evening slipped away. The next morning we had to get up, ready for the Anzac Day service that was at the council rooms in Coromandel. Coromandel made a very good job of the service. They brought down an Auckland Air Force sergeant that gave a talk about dying twice. Once when you die on the battlefield, and once again when everybody forgets your name. So it was about remembering those names and the stories that were behind them. That night we moved the camper around to the town car parks, just behind the shops. The council allow you to park up here for one night. It's a great service. In fact, they had 2 of these places in town where you could park. It's our last day in Coromandel, so we thought we'd pop around to the other side of the bay, to Waiona Bay.
I think there's a wee one on here.
Oh, it's a little baby snapper. Yeah, it's going to come off.
Yeah, wee snapper.
Hey, mate. Sorry, but you're too small. Is it jigging?
Look, it's there.
Oh, you got one on already.
Yeah.
Oh, you caught it. It's not big enough.
Oh, come on, it's nearly big enough.
Is it big enough?
Yeah, it is.
Go and get your tape measure. Oh, face the tail. 31 centimetres. Are you going to scale it and gut it?
No.
No. So we'll leave this episode on a happy note. Thanks for watching. Do join us next time when we pop over to Whitianga in the Coromandel, heading over to Cook's Beach on the wee bikes. We found a great way to clean the roof of the camper. Then we headed off down to the Bay of Plenty, but unfortunately getting caught in the rain. But that didn't stop us finding some hot poles and stopping off some great overnight locations before we got to Tauranga.